Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Sailor Moon, and I'm Sailor Mini Moon, and today you might, the first thing you probably wanna ask us is, well, okay, first off, first thing you probably don't wanna ask. So we made a film yesterday, talking about how all of us came, well, a lot of us came from Amazon, and that's true. Except for maybe Sailor Mini Moon, who is Anime Toys, and except for maybe, I don't know, that was about it. Except for Sailor Venus, the Salvation Army, or the helping team, and Sailor Neptune was the only one that did come from eBay. Now, some folks out there might think that, whatever they're going to think. So, today, God, clear my throat here, didn't mean to say that. Now, there are going to be folks who are going to believe that, oh, we're running out of things to talk about, which that's not true. So, today, let's talk about Sailor Stars and why it took so long for Sailor Stars to get the first English work. Now, depending to who who you talk to, they're gonna have a lot of sagas and tales. One saga and tale goes that the way that it was handled, what was in it, that Deke, or he's at this point would have been Pioneer, or someone else would have taken it on, wouldn't known how to work with it. That the Sailor Starlights, that were 2 men and 1 woman, yeah, I'm not making that one up. And when they shape shifted, they became females. They became women. So that was probably one of the things. Another saga and tale goes, and this might be more of the truth. Another one of saga and tales goes that Nako Takiguchi and Toei had a falling out over how all the Sailor Moon was being worked. Now, true, Toei did have some freedoms to make certain shifts to it, but apparently, according to this, the shifting or the freedom that they had to Sailor Stars, apparently Nako Takiguchi didn't like it. And there's probably more to the saga and tale, but apparently they had a falling out over how the Sailor Starlights were handled. Apparently they were, instead of being the main South Hoods, they were the under South Hoods. And apparently, even though Toei had some freedom to make a lot of shifts with all of Sailor Moon up to that time, apparently they didn't have the freedom to shift how the Sailor Starlights were done. I don't know. Now, can I go on? Sure, why not? Alright, so as Sailor Moon said, that one, I don't know. You tell someone they have the freedom to make some shifts and some cleaning to the work, or at least some shifts to it, and then you tell them they don't. It's like Nako Takiguchi and Toei were happy with all the 4 followings of Sailor Moon, but then the 5th one was the one when both sides had a hang up with. It's like, oh well, it was like, oh Toei, you had to make the Sailor Starlights the under South Hoods. You couldn't have the same freedom to work with the Sailor Starlights the same way that you did with everything else, with all the other 4 followings, But whatever happened, Sailor Moon got locked up after that, and some say that after that, whatever happened, Aqua Takaguchi and Toei no longer worked together until at least around 2013. Wow, of course, when the drawing books came back, when the funny books or drawing books came back, and then had to do a whole new work on the whole saga. And now keep in mind that was. And sad about this. Now, keep in mind that was getting off a bit, but apparently that's why it took until this year or last year for Sailor Stars to get the English work, was all that. And there's probably more to the saga until than that. You know, if Naoko Takaguchi had a hang up or didn't like how Toei was doing anything with Sailor Moon, why did she hold until after the last following of Sailor Moon to say something? I don't know. I truly do not know. She got mad over how the Sailor Stars were handled, but apparently Alan and Ann being put into Sailor Moon when Ella and Ann being put into Sailor Moon when the rest of Sailor Moon they weren't even in. She was alright with that, but make the Sailor Starlight some of the main South Hoods and then you had a hang up, which I don't truly understand. But at the end of the day, I guess it is what it is, So your guess is good as mine over that. And that may have been the big hang up to why it took so long for Sailor Stars to get made into English. Now, why it didn't get done in English back in the day, you want to end this, Sailor Moon? Sure. Well, as you said it, Sailor Mini Moon, the grounds to why it didn't get put into English back in the day would have been the falling out between Naoko Takaguchi and Toei. Also, how do you take free South Hoods that are 2 men and 1 woman who shapeshift into women, and how do you clean that and make that right? Like, how do you go by doing that? And that may have been one of the first hang-ups that Pioneer or anyone who took on would have to work with. On not Viz, because all Viz does is just do the speech work. But, so they wouldn't have had a hang-up. But anyone else back in the day doing it would have had to hang up with that. And how will they go by doing that? That's like the first thing they have to always think of. Like, how will they go by doing it? And the truth is, how do they go by doing that kind of thing? No one truly knows. So, that may have been one of the first hang-up that happened. And then when Naoko Takaguchi and Toei had their falling out, that was definitely put a lockup on and a hang up onto why it took so long for Sailor Stars to get put into English. But that's probably what it is. That's it. I'm Sailor Moon. I'm Sailor Mini Moon. We'll see you later.